Technology in the construction industry evolves rapidly, faster than ever. But technology alone does not drive change. People do. Digital construction champions do. Hi, today we have some special guest from BEXEL company. His name is Igor Osmokrovic. So
My
Igor,
pleasure.
welcome to the show. Welcome to episode number
Thank
2
you. Glad to be
of
with
the
you.
Digital Construction Champions YouTube channel. We can start with the intro questions, block 1. So can you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm Igor Osmokrovic. I'm a structural engineer, and I've been involved in digital construction for as long as I work. I would say I'm one of the board members of Building Smart Serbia. I'm very involved in spreading and supporting the implementation of digital construction management. I have that opportunity to work worldwide, and let's say from my current role of Chief Operating Officer in BEXEL, I meet so many great individuals and so many great projects and companies. So we definitely have a lot of topics to discuss today.
Fantastic. So you told me what is your current role, I
Yeah,
guess. I mean, it's not one single role. You have many roles. So
of course,
you
yeah.
can put them in the order which you prefer the most, and maybe the challenge.
Well,
But
no, definitely. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of BEXEL. This is my full-time dedication. But as I said, I'm always trying to uh, add some more effort into the spreading and populating the digital construction management. So yes, I have that role as a board member of Building Smart Serbia. I'm the chairman of the group for BIM Technologies of Serbian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And wherever there is a group of enthusiasts that are pushing the digital construction in any way, I'm always glad to help.
in the previous episode, I discussed with Vladimir Butesha from Team CAD about
Yeah, I watched it.
potential. So BIM is fantastic thing when it's supported and pushed by right people, and I think this is your case. Where
Thank you. We're
I
trying.
think without enthusiasm, if you're paid like if you're driving your role like a taxi driver and say this is my bill at the end of journey, it's not the right way. There is
Of course.
also I also have many of unpaid hours, extra hours or overtime, which is called enthusiasm. It's not just about that, but I think it's sometimes also when you're learning something that is not necessary to be learned, it's
Yeah,
also kind of enthusiasm. So
sure.
we can define the enthusiasm as extra work plus extra learning
Yeah. Well, it is
to
dedication.
dedication.
Dedication
That's right.
to a topic, dedication to inspiring other individuals, to inspiring other organizations to see the change in the projects around you. That's something that I would use as a definition.
Okay, so if you have to describe your job work in one sentence, what sentence would you use? I mean, it's really hard to put everything, but this is tricky question because Mr. Veljko from BEXEL, your
President of the
friend and
company, yeah.
colleague, yeah. So he asked me once to explain to him in 1 minute what is BIM
Mhm.
on some conference. So I was shocked when I heard that question. I say, what can I say in 1 minute? So he told me, you're in an elevator with me and you need to sell me in 1 minute. What would you say about BIM? So now there is a question. It's some kind of revenge.
Why why am I the subject? No, of
I'm,
course
I'm,
not.
I'm, I'm, I'm kidding, of course, but
No, not the problem. Yeah, but I would say that it's similar for a lot of us, we are all balancing and trying to juggle a lot of obligations every day. In my case, I would say we are balancing between many ways to develop. To develop market, to develop solutions, to develop team, to develop yourself as a self-development.
Yeah.
So this is something that, from my role, I need to have that overview of uh, everything being improved, innovated, and developed every day, and in every way of our uh, company. I my role, chief operating officer, it has a lot of with management of the team, and I know that this would be a second sentence, but I would say that it is quite easy.
We have a
Uh,
comma now.
it
True.
is, yeah, it is quite easy for me to work with the team that I have that we have in BEXEL. We have so many sharp, smart, passionate individuals in our team that it is really a pleasure to collaborate with them on a daily basis. I don't want to say to manage. No, it's not manage, to collaborate. And I
Yeah,
will definitely use that word a lot when we are discussing digital construction. It's everything about collaboration, I would say.
that's right. Okay. So I fully agree. I mean, it's a culture. Like, if you have that culture in company, then it reflects to any department and every aspect of your company. So this is brilliant to hear that in our country there are companies that are organized in that way, that you have as you said, you don't have a vertical, if I understood it correctly. So you don't have vertical structure.
No.
You have a horizontal where
Yeah.
everybody are equally
Yeah, of course, you have
contributing.
some seniorities, but definitely that team spirit. But you said only in. I want to say that here, we're blessed that we have that kind of let's say team members all around the world. So there is a lot of how would I say, BEXEL colleagues around the world that are all sharing the same culture, as you said. And
Yeah,
this is very important. And you know, when how much, 5 years ago, when COVID struck, it was such a dilemma, what and how the business will look like when we go remote and so on. And I was completely calm with our team. I
yeah,
knew that everything will work because actually the individuals are sharing the culture,
yeah.
are sharing themselves. They are living what we are actually doing,
That's
and
right.
that's something that really uh, calms my mind uh, on a daily basis.
So let's close this block in the one sentence that I will tell that I heard, and it's confirmed from many resources, that Excel is a fantastic place
Yeah,
to work for today.
thank you.
So thank you. So we can close now block one, if you're fine with that, and we can jump to block two.
Okay.
Okay, so welcome to the second block of today's chat with Igor. So the block is called Career Journey, and it matters Igor's development and the career itself, like how he came to the position where he is right now.
Yeah.
So in order to come to the position, you need to enter the industry. So how did you enter the construction digital industry?
Well, you know, as I said, I'm a structural engineer, so construction is there. From the my choice of uh, discipline to work on, but I would say that digital part actually started quite early. You know, uh, in our studies program, there is a software development courses, and I was quite good
Yeah.
in those. And a professor, Nicola Clem, now he's not
Yeah,
among us
everybody
anymore,
knows
yeah,
him.
yeah, but everybody knows him. Uh, he selected me as one of the students that he would like to work with to help with his courses and so on very early. I had actually 19 years at that time. I was 19 years old. So already from the second year of my studies, I started to go to let's say develop myself in the digital part of construction, and I was working with him and his colleagues for quite some time, and uh, his courses were in the department of management, informatics or IT, and technology in construction. That was the name of the department, and I was
Yeah,
studying structural engineering, but I had the opportunity to spend time and collaborate with so many professors and great people from the department of MIT, and and that was,
mhm.
it was very interesting because some of them
So
were very
you said there was
proven.
IT, software development, and technology.
Management, software development, and technology in construction. That was
So
the full
what
name.
was your most preferred direction? Is it? Can I guess? And then you can say if I get it.
Right.
So is it technology?
I don't know. I don't know. Management. I
Oh,
would say
really?
management. Yeah.
You know why I connected that? Because your workflow in a software requires some understanding of
Yeah. Uh,
technology. So
I understand. Yeah.
I was guessing wrong. I had a wrong estimation indeed.
Yeah, I understand. I understand, but
So 1-0 for you.
yeah, but definitely, uh, I think that and it's proven that there is a lot of improvement area that could be done in the part of construction management. And there is a lot of efficiency that we can reach, and well, let's say to be more efficient, to get better results and so on, if we would organize ourselves better. And I had honestly, I was lucky to jump in the BEXEL that literally combines IT management and construction, because we are, our tools are dedicated to
That's
integrated
right.
construction management, and
Indeed,
it's
indeed, all three are all together in
definitely,
a Excel. So
definitely. So it was,
even if you made
uh,
the wrong choice, you would still learn to learning paths in your company.
yeah, I don't know. I think I had luck. I think I had luck to become a part of uh, the team that actually really combines all three of, let's say, my main interests.
And Igor, when did you join Excel? Excel, sorry, which year?
2012, so I'm
Well,
more than 13 years with BEXEL, and I was still studying back then.
Yeah,
So I came here as a student intern, let's say something like that, and then built my way to where am I now.
fantastic. Because in 2012, I had a dilemma that I was working for Arup in Belgrade, for Arup office. They decided to close the business, and I was on interview with Veljko.
Hmm.
So I will not tell the result, would I be hired or not, but I decided at the end to move, to stay in Arup and move to London. So this is the
Hmm.
year, I think this is a question about key milestones. Because my key milestone was moving to London,
Hmm.
then I realized how different it is. But it's also confirming that nobody should say I will never do this or that. Because first time I was in London in 2008 when had some Revit course in some computer school, computer, what do you call it, the training center,
Hmm.
which had a contract with Arup. So in 2008, I told that I would never live in London, and 2012, I finished in London. So this is lesson learned. Never say never. How we say, yeah. But
Speaking of milestones, indeed, you know, uh, I wanted to pursue academic career, starting to
uh-huh.
collaborate with all the professors there. I was really inspired with that, and until today, I always gladly take the opportunities to share some knowledge, experience, give some lectures to the students. That's something I really enjoyed.
Are you doing that now with your regular
Quite
visits?
quite I don't want to say regularly, but whenever there is an opportunity, and of course if that fits my schedule, I really choose to visit
Sorry,
faculties.
one more question. Which institution are you supporting? Like University of Belgrade or more than?
Well, there is a lot of universities with whom BEXEL collaborates, but obviously here in Belgrade, I am quite often, when somebody calls or if we need to mentor somebody, and in the thesis, or also I'm a part of, it's called the Bridgetize project. It is one of the EU-funded projects where I'm mentoring a student that is a PhD student in Politecnica in Milano and Ljubljana also. So I'm there as a industry co-mentor in his thesis. Literally, I always choose to dedicate some time to academia. Always. This is something I really uh, I really like. And yes, then going back to milestone, it was the moment where I decided to actually go in industry and not to stay in academia to join BEXEL. This was quite an important milestone on my path. And after that, I can really point some important milestones in my career. Starting from, I remember the day when I made a first external report going out from BEXEL to a client, and I had a colleague who she's still with BEXEL, who said, "Oh, you started to earn money for the company." I remember that sentence, and it is one thing. Then, of course, I remember my first project that I got to lead as a project manager. Then I remember my first on-site assignment abroad. And later, as I rose into the structure and had more, let's say, business development work and so on, I remember the first large project, the first large client, and then uh, at one point it stopped being my success. It is then success of the team, and I have a lot of them. Successes are, practically
Mhm.
uh, regular thing now because they are not mine, they're ours. Because from my position now, I feel that every success is in a way mine, but it's definitely not mine. It
Yeah.
belongs to colleagues. So it's interesting, but if I would, uh, draw a line, I could really point those moments
So
of
which
milestones. Yeah.
years you would put like key cards, like key milestones? Is it 2012, and then
Which years?
how many
Oh,
important
I
is
cannot
it, is it
now.
like a 3, 4, 5
So
or
it's 12, then 14th. I would say the end of 2014 was quite important for me. Then the end of 2015, and then so that you know there is a couple of them, and then definitely uh, you know the moment where I took my current role was very important for me. I think
and
it's somewhere more than 5 years ago.
during your reaching your key milestones, did you have some mentor that you remember, like some of them or many of them?
It's interesting.
Sorry, because in a chat with
Yeah.
Vladimir last week, we had a conclusion that even bad examples are still champions because they teach you what not to do. But
Yeah,
let's say
but
just keep the focus on positive.
I still remember, after a while working with BEXEL, I was speaking with some friends, and I was like, I want to be them when I grow up. I want to be them. That's important. I always had multiple role models in BEXEL. Uh, each of them somewhere different. Nobody is the same, and a few of them had, focus on some services, some had to focus on software development and so on. But I remember that saying, I want to be them, not this guy or that guy, but them. And then after a while, yes, I had a colleague, a senior colleague, Jovan Vucevic, who I consider my mentor, not only from the point of, uh, you know, uh, uh, work itself, but a lot wider in terms of business life and understanding of different, let's say, concepts that we are meeting daily in our
Yeah.
work.
Okay. So would you like to add something in this block, or we can close it if you're fine?
Well, definitely through all other blocks, we will circle back to career journey for sure, but for
Yeah.
this time, let's close it.
Okay. Thank you. So we are closing now block 2. See you in block 3. Okay, so welcome to block 3 called projects and challenges. Igor, which project or initiative do you consider your biggest success? I mean, you have both. Yeah, it's not or, but and.
There's a saying, don't make me pick between my children, those successes. But definitely, uh, uh, through all the phases of my career, there was different uh, different uh, successes were considered important. I remember quite well when I started working in commercial, and we had some client with some requirements, quite important project, well known, and so on. And the requirements for BIM implementation were not set in a right manner, you know. And I was putting a lot of effort to explain to them what they should require and how they should formulate it.
So you're
And
speaking about a client, yeah?
yeah, and
And you
it's
were on his side. You were his
well,
consultant.
I'm always I'm thinking I'm always on the side of a project itself. So when a client maybe lacks in expertise in some way, I'm always like, let's try to make it logical. Let's try to make this collaboration effective, efficient, and so on. And you know, it's when you're in the shoes of somebody who wants to get a job, to uh, create a proposal and get it. It's quite important, you know, to navigate the client towards uh, that middle ground between you and the client. And I remember very well how I managed at one project to, let's say, to shape the scope in a way that it is the most efficient for project, the most beneficial for BEXEL, for project itself, for the client. And I remember that because there was like considerations on the client side, the will or not, they will, accept that change in the requirements and so on and so forth. And I remember that win. It felt really good because during that consideration you're a bit doubting whether you chose the right words, whether you explained it in the right manner, and so on. And then that decision, yes,
Yeah.
go, let's work together, and so on. This was like, yes, I remember that very well. But this is, let's say, one that I would say optimization of the BIM scope. There is a lot of uh, wrongly set expectations from BIM that are
But
not.
can you tell me, is it like overestimating or underestimating requirements? So what
Uh,
did you have to push your client to be more demanding or less?
Actually, this one was to narrow it down to what makes sense.
Mhm.
This is different to many. Yes, you're right, because in many cases you have, like, as colleagues used to say, beam one piece. That kind of requirement. We are meeting those, and then you need to explain for them to expand and so on. But not here. There was a lot of requirements that actually do not add value.
Uh-huh.
Do not add value, and I was like, I can be I can answer the requirements, be the one among the most expensive ones, and lose the job, or make effort to explain to them why what I'm suggesting is the best possible solution
Way,
for
yeah.
all of them. And this
So
is,
just
yes,
ju-
this is
ju-
a
ju-
bit
just to open
opposite
the
of.
discussion because it happens in my career. I met so many BIM managers that are taking their BIM requirements and entire BIM organization from their previous company without understanding what they are doing. So they simply bring it into a new company without adoption to
uh,
the requirements. So you go from I don't know, retail to factory. It's not the same, it's totally different. First of all, you need to have the list of BIM items you want to to
Use
to
cases,
monitor,
yeah, use cases,
everything.
benefits. It goes. There is a way how you structure the BIM implementation plan. There is a way how you develop it, how your line of thought should be, and yeah, that was, let's say, one
This is
example that
also a
I
thing that
remember gladly.
people need to learn, because when I moved from data centers to semiconductor, from ISG to Intel,
Hmm.
when I came to Intel, I said, "Oh, what can I learn here?" Because semiconductor is just another way of building the factory. Man, it's totally different. It's totally different. It's so complex. So because they have so many clean rooms in that moment, and that was my first clean room 3 or 4 years ago. So I have to say honestly that in 40 something, I was learning from scratch some things,
Oh,
because
on each project you
this is
have a
normal
lot
thing.
to learn.
This is
Yeah.
normal thing in our profession, because there is no B manager who knows all the disciplines and all the sub disciplines, and this is the issue where people are coming from different companies. They just bring their procedures and everything from previous company, adopt it to new company, and I guess this is why I had that the issue to
But
explain
I
to
have to
them.
say, the logic is the same. I want to say like that. The logic needs to be the same. You need to make the efficient information management workflow, and to be very clear with what you are expecting as a gain out of the workflow that you are, let's say, imagining or creating or defining. So yeah, we now went into that part, but that's just one of the examples where I felt successful, because I did manage to actually bring all the pieces together to one successful story. And it's always with with initiatives, with projects. You have uh, a client where when we first met, the idea of digital transformation was so far from them, and now they are very successful in actually that area, and recognized in that area. I don't want to name any, but you have also teams where you see that there are people who are in for it and there are people who are against. And I'm
Yes,
always more motivated by those who are against,
to win
because
over
yes,
them.
yeah, to win them in our side, because yes, those who are motivated, who understand the digital transformation is the future, who understand that it is the path towards efficiency and so on, they are good, but and they do not need me, maybe me or BEXEL as much, but those who are, let's say, who are silently against, those are the most dangerous ones, who are silently against, who are just uh, trying to ask hard questions, who are trying to say why we need it, I was doing it better, more and blah blah blah. Those, to win them over,
Mm.
that's success. That's success, and I had that a lot of times.
There's
I
also
had that.
cases that are cases in my career. I had many cases in my last, for example, in Intel, I had a project director who asked everyone to prepare and explain in details. He wants to understand what he can achieve. So this is a funny moment where, or important moment, I would say, where there is a big change, where project directors are asking people to support them to make the decision. And this is the key moment where I will just connect it with the second question, which is toughest challenge in the digital transformation.
I
It's
think we
it's
we we,
it's.
we
I think it's
almost covered it.
this.
Yeah, yeah, we
I think
almost
it's just
covered it.
it's exactly that, to win over the skeptical people.
Yes, I
It's
I,
not
I
just
think.
about client side. I think it's also in your organization, and in every organization there are people who are simply negative. There is a mentality issue in some parts of Europe. I will not name the country, but I think we all know what country I'm thinking about, where people are not pioneering. They are living, that immigrants are pioneering, and immigrants they bring them the wealth and the power.
But
But
the construction industry is reluctant to change. People don't want to implement new. There are some reasoning for that because uh, being a project manager is not easy.
yeah,
It is not easy. It is a very complex task, and then it's quite common for them to say, "I'm too busy for a change. I'm too busy to transform."
you know the cartoon
And
with
everybody, yeah,
square
yeah,
wheels.
and the wheel, yeah, yeah,
That's the best explanation
yeah.
why you don't have time.
Yeah, when preparing this video, you can put that cartoon, that image,
One
somewhere
of my
because
previous
indeed, yeah.
companies, we offered free digital twin at the end because maintenance was the part of the contract, and the maintenance was free of charge because they have warranty from the equipment that my previous employee offered. So when we offered digital twin, they said no, we don't need a digital twin because we don't have technician who can deal with such a technology. So if you explain to them that it's 2 months course and he or she will be able to
Mm,
operate and to understand everything, it's a mentality thing. They still say no, but it's a complicated. We want to have PDFs. You know how many in how many cases people don't know what they are. What equipment they have. Like for example, one big company. Again, I will not tell the name. They had a factory from 1970, and they were hanging many things on the walls and columns. And in 2012, they realized that they have so many components that the stability is in charge, challenged.
mhm, mhm.
So this is where they asked to us to provide them analysis.
You know
They just
about
wanted to understand from 70s to now, to 2012, it was 40 plus years of hanging everything.
Mm. There
So
is a lot of
simply, it's a dangerous thing. You need to you need to know what you have, like a building owner or factory owner or whatever. You need to know because you're responsible for human lives
yeah,
at the end of the
there is
day.
there is a lot of charts speaking about those information loss from phase to phase. From there's a lot of those. They are well known within, let's say, the digital construction community, but and they are so true. They are so true that you're losing information,
Mm,
and the I would say that it can be understood as a bad thing, but it should be understood as a great opportunity.
that's right.
It would be a
An
quite
improvement.
challenging path if we didn't have where to improve, but we have. So let's embrace it and
And
let's
we
improve
have
it. And
always.
yeah, we will have always, but this is so obvious, with better information management, we are so capable of improving the results. And as I said, just industry needs to embrace it and to uh, end up with improved results. I would say in the end, I'm tired of hearing how construction has bad results, how
Yeah,
the construction has some of the brightest minds,
of
in
course.
globally, but you need to align the process.
That's right.
That's a challenge. That's the toughest challenge to create and adopt to create and adopt an efficient process. That's the
Sure,
challenge, and that's the goal, let's say.
sure. It's all about human. It's all about people and workflows. Very, very, very simple. I mean, it sounds simple, but Okay, if we put that, we answered also our third question, which is how do you approach implementing BEME digital tools in large teams? This is exactly what we discussed about.
Yeah, it needs to be
We're ahead of
small
questions.
steps, small gains, building on that momentum, making snowball effect, and so on. And actually, this is the most important takeaway, let's say, from my experience in working with different teams in digital transformation. You may not try to go from 0 to 100 and then get some gains. You need to have steps. You need to have small bites.
Right.
You need to fuel the energy of a team with small gains. That's so important. And you know, when this is achieved, you feel it. You feel from the team. You feel on those coordination meetings. You feel on those implementation meetings. However it is organized and whatever it is the task. You feel when the energy is rising, when everybody is understanding success, and you can feel the other way around also, and I'm always I'm jumping into those meetings with the question, what can we do in next 2 weeks?
Yeah.
How can we reach the benefit in next 2 weeks? What we have ready now, and let's take that what we have ready and let's get a gain out of it. Let's make a useful information. Let's make an interactive dashboard that will explain to a third party something, that will align different stakeholders. We have also I have a luck where in our solutions in BEXEL, both Manager and CDE, those are both very powerful data handling engines or solutions, let's say, and we can do so much with information that are collected, that are structured and so on. So I'm always, entering implementation meetings with just pushing everybody to reach the first reachable benefit, and then the second one, and then the third one, and go in those steps and build on that trust, build on that success, then build trust, then you will have the
Just to
result.
summarize, there was what I heard in some conference, which is very smart. Like, you need to win the battles in order to win the war. Thank you for joining Digital Construction Champions. Remember, technology alone does not change construction. People do. Champions do. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments, and stay connected with our community. See you.